What's up, pretty gang? It's your favorite nail tech Peaches, back with another video, and today I am pulling some footage out of the archives. This was originally done before Christmas, but it's still winter time, and honestly this is the only real footage that I've got, so this is what we're gonna go ahead and work with, this beautiful winter type set, double XL in length. Before we get into it, you guys don't forget, in the description bar below I have all my coupon codes as well as my Amazon storefront. A lot of you guys ask about if I have an Amazon storefront. Yes, I do. It's always linked in the description. Make sure you guys are subscribed and follow me on social media, all that good stuff. So essentially what we have is a double XL set. The whole background is glitter. Okay, the glitter that I'm using is called Pull Up by Not Polished. Y'all already know, if it's not polished, not nothing. A good amount of you guys have been asking about my brush. This is just straight from the nail supply. I do not order brushes online. I feel like, for me personally, it's pointless. I feel like they run too small, they're way too oval, and I like to be able to look and feel my brushes before buying them. I also like my brushes like pinched, which gives it the more spread out square shape, and I do cut my bristles some. I don't like long bristles. Like getting your brush together, it kind of just takes experience and skill. I know, because a lot of people buy so much stuff online. A lot of you guys don't really get that experience to know why nail supply stores are actually useful, if you know what I mean. So that's that. The liquid is going to be Young Nails, and the clear is going to be Young Nails Core Clear. Okay, so now we kind of got all the specs out the way. Originally I was going to go ahead and upload a video of the set that I did today, but you guys, the quality of the, not the quality of the video, but like it was completely out of frame. So I went and pretty much edited the whole thing and then realized, dang, this is out of frame. So that's kind of why this video was coming in late. Also, I didn't get off of work till 9 p.m. So, you know, by the time I showered and everything, ate, blah, blah, blah. But here we are, okay? So these two nails are both going to be ombre glitter. Now, this is a really pretty glitter. It's very, very slept on. It's just super pretty, honestly. And when you are ombreing glitters that are, this is kind of still like a fine glitter. It does have like little chunky pieces in it, but they're not chunky in the way that they stand out. So you will not see me run any clear over this before I go ahead and do the ombre. And the color that I'm using to do the ombre at the cuticle area is called Azure, I believe, actually. Azure by Not Polished as well. So you guys know, when I do ombres, I typically take a good amount of product and lay the base down. When you're doing double XL nails, you kind of just have to know your ratios as well, because you don't want it to take forever. So if you can get that one bead to do its job and to get a lot of the work done, I suggest doing it. If you have a small brush like a 10, a 12, even a 14, I'm gonna be honest, you're not gonna be picking up these type of beads. So if you want bigger beads, you're gonna have to upgrade to a larger brush. I do use a size 20, so that's why beads that I pick up can cover, you know, double XL nails and stuff like that. Okay, so as far as these two nails, this first bead I laid, I forgot that there was going to be snowflakes encapsulated. However, if I am doing an encapsulation to where the background is going to be a solid color, you know, design, something like that, I am pretty much going to do, I'm not going to do like a thin layer and then encapsulate a lot on top. Okay, this is pretty much the main star of the show. I am going to do the background almost as normal. So maybe not like as thick as usual, but I'm going to leave it still enough to support its own self, because what you're going to see me do is basically I'm going to put the snowflakes on top and encapsulate enough so the snowflakes don't get super filed out. If you decide to go the route of like, I'm going to do a thin background, like a thin layer on the background and then encapsulate on top, you can do that, but sometimes I find that depending on the clear you use, it looks like you're looking through encapsulation. Do you see what I'm saying? Instead of looking like, oh, these are like at the surface, I feel like it looks, it does look in the background instead of looking like it is the design. I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly. So that's why I do it this way. Now on this one, I kind of did do a little bit too much because I completely forgot that there was going to be snowflakes in here, low-key. So I pretty much was like, okay, Let me see what it is I can do. Now these snowflakes are listed in my Amazon storefront. They may not be the exact pack, but they're like similar enough as far as color schemes, and they might actually be the exact pack. But yeah, they are linked in my Amazon storefront. Now these type of snowflakes, they're very cheap and they last a long time. Okay, I've had these snowflakes for forever and a day, and you don't need to be buying them every single season because they're gonna last you, because everyone's not gonna want snowflakes at, well, maybe some people's clients, but they last a long time. They're pretty good quality. They have like a real nice like reflective look to them. They do not melt with monomer, because some like sequins and stuff, they will melt when liquid gets on them, because I feel like they are not like laser cut, or it's the way it's foiled basically. So okay, now that I have that down, so basically the mistake that I made is I'm trying to like push it into the acrylic, and basically the sides are gonna like fatten up kind of, so now it's gonna appear really thick on the sides, and then I'm gonna try and put them back into place. See, I didn't know there was like 3 snowflakes one on top of each other, and I will go ahead later on and add clear acrylic on top. But if I were to have put a little bit less acrylic, I wouldn't be trying to push them in so hard. It's just I did not feel like taking everything out. So basically, yeah, while the acrylic is still slightly soft, I'm just kind of like pushing it down enough so that when I go ahead and cap and clear, it's not going to make a difference. But this is why I said, you know, be careful how much you use and stuff like that. So it kind of looks like I am struggling, which kind of, because I did it wrong a little bit, like because I forgot I was putting snowflakes. But to be honest, you guys kind of get the gist of it. I will show you again on the next nail and explain kind of what I did differently, so you can see how it's like kind of getting fat, like the nail is just splaying out. Now she did have an inspiration pic for this. Originally she wanted something else, but the inspiration pic she pulled up for this, she tried, okay, so basically she took like 5 different inspiration pictures and wanted like 5 different nails, but all those nails came from different sets. And she was like, I was trying to build my own set, blah blah blah. But then she realized there were 2 main nails that she liked out of that picture, which was the glitter ombres and the full snowflake fingers. So that's pretty much the direction that we went. Don't be afraid to share your opinion with clients, especially when they're trying to build their own sets, because there are times to where it is like necessary that you kind of have to step in, only because what you don't want for it to look like is literally like it was 5 different nails from 5 different sets. It doesn't look cohesive. So now that I have the snowflakes like kind of pushed down slightly, I am going in with a little bit of acrylic, because if you guys haven't seen any of my last videos of encapsulation or like ombraying with sequins, if you try to straight up cap how it is, they're all going to adjust and shift and move around. If you try to cap just regular, everything is gonna kind of come out basically. So what I'm doing is using that clear acrylic right now, not only to like keep everything in place, but to fill in the spaces around, so that way you're not wasting so much time trying to not only keep the snowflakes from poking out, but so that way all the space around the snowflakes, when you go in file, like nothing's, you know, too crazy. So once again, now here is the appropriate amount that I should be, and I worked a little bit wetter this time, as you can see. You guys know I don't waste no beads, so the last one I was like, well, we're already here now, we're gonna work with it. This is how I should have had it done, and you guys can see like, okay, it's a nice amount of product, okay, it's moving. I'm not a person that lets it be so wet that gravity is doing all the work for me. I kind of don't believe in that, because that's how you can get overwhelmed. You got to be the one controlling the acrylic, okay? You're directing, you're guiding it down. And then let me see, I'm trying to see what's next. So I basically going ahead and doing this, guiding the acrylic, because I don't want too many lumps and bumps basically, because that's going to make it hard for encapsulating later on, especially because we're already going to have weird divots between the snowflakes themselves, okay? So yeah, we're covering a lot of surface area, because we're also doing double XL, so we don't want to take all day and all night, you know what I'm saying? So Okay, boom, now we're out to the end, straighten out the tip, boom, bam. So what I went ahead and decided to do, right, is, if this is what I'm thinking, you guys already know I don't watch this full video until I actually do the voiceover. So I'm making sure the shape is good. You want to do that now. It's going to be pain in the ass to try and regain the shape after all this capping and stuff. So while the acrylic is still more wet, this is what I decided to do because it's way less of a hassle. Is instead of like putting the cuticle bead on there like at that moment in time, I decided while the acrylic was still more moldable, right, and this is like way more moldable than the last nail, even though it kind of doesn't look like it, is I decided to put the snowflakes down and kind of have the acrylic sink around them a little bit, and this would also keep them in place and it wasn't going to be as much of a hassle. Now this nail is a little bit different. It has less snowflakes on it. I'm making sure to try and keep the shape. Every time I push in the middle, it's going to like spread the acrylic out, so you kind of have to be mindful of that sort of thing when you're doing this. I kind of did this because it was quicker than gluing them down or doing anything. I don't really like doing that because it just takes forever, and I really wanted to kind of trap them in acrylic a little bit, so that's why I'm doing it like this. Now that one wasn't sticking for whatever reason. Oh, I think it was the size, possibly. I don't know, I kind of wasn't paying attention. But yeah, so I decided to kind of go with this design for this one. And as you can see, I wouldn't suggest doing that, but I kind of had to because like my brush was working a little bit too hard, so it was kind of make it hard for it to apply the amount of pressure that I needed it to, because the brush was, I mean, the acrylic is already almost drying. And then I went in for the apex area. Now there's nothing wrong with this. There's all different types of ways to do this. We like to work smarter, not harder. And the reason I did this is because if I were to wait and I did the whole apex and everything, that acrylic wouldn't have been dry enough. Now this wouldn't have been an issue if, like I said, you could put a tiny amount of acrylic for the first layer and then lay the snowflakes down, no problem, and then do a really thick layer of clear for strength and stuff. But I just personally find it takes way more time, and there's ways around that. I've been doing nails for about 3.5 years now, and so by now there's just certain little things that you personally do that makes things go by a little bit quicker, if you know what I mean. So I think I'm debating, do I want to put one up here? And I guess I do. Like I said, this footage is before Christmas, so I'm just kind of rolling with the punches here. It's currently midnight, so we have just rolled into the next day with this voiceover. So I maybe don't put one there. Not really sure. Now I do have plenty of videos on my channel of doing XXL nails. I have a couple. Let's not say plenty. I have a couple. Okay, so I think I'm gonna put one more. That one is pretty thin. That one's small. We'll see. So yes, I do have a couple videos of me doing XXL nails. To get this length, I just cut the first nail tip in half, and then I stack the second nail tip, and I cut that one to the desired length. I just make sure it's a different length than what I would consider just the full tip length. So I make sure that when I show them, okay, this is one tip, so it has to be anything above this is good, because the last thing you want to do is basically double tip for somebody just for them to pick literally a full tip length. I'd be like, no girl, you kind of have to push it up a little bit, because I didn't waste all these tips for nothing, you know. So for the thumb, I pretty much did the same thing, laid it all down. Now I was kind of nervous for the thumb because I don't know, because it's just kind of bigger. I don't want to say nervous, but like, this is how many I could fit, and I didn't want to stuff too many more than this. And so you can see after I'm done, this is what I mean when I say I lay a little bit of acrylic around and on them, and this is so that way this acrylic can sink into like the little crevices around, so that way not only do they stay, but once again when I go ahead and fully cap them later on, it's gonna be so much smoother. Like, once you understand that things are only difficult because you don't know the order of operations that they should be done, or things are only difficult because with nails, things like to poke out, they like to stick out, dust likes to get anywhere. You learn how to avoid some of those like pet peeves and things. So things just get quicker, they become easier, and it just makes a lot more sense. So everybody does have their own way. I'm not gonna change the way I do things because I still got these done pretty quick. And yeah, to each their own. Okay, so now this is where I'm going to show you guys how to cap those snowflake nails, and also we're doing a really quick ombre, a blue into the glitter. When you're doing ombres into colors that are nearly clear or glittery, you want to choose like colors that are going to blend well. She wanted blue. I suggested this color to her because I told her like it's going to blend really, really well, and as you can see, it pretty much seamlessly blended, like no problems, no issues. And it's because they are like, even though the glitter is clear and, you know, kind of see-through, these colors together, they are in the same like family with the undertones and stuff. So this glitter, I'm sorry guys, I'm so tired. This glitter has you know, notes of this bluish color in the undertones of the other glitter. So you guys know when I do my ombres, I build up the apex because, once again, I just don't personally feel like laying down a really thin color of clear, a really thin color, and then capping it in a thick layer of clear. It's just more time consuming. And I feel like this is why a lot of my designs look like they are more like you're looking at them and not through them, because I use clear to cap as a way of like literally, hey, I don't want to follow through my design, not as a, hey, it's the basis and backbone for all of my sets. Okay, colors are way stronger than you guys think they are, especially if you're using good brand and good products. You don't have to be in the habit of using clear for all of your complete and total strength. And once you kind of realize that, then you will realize how much quicker things can be. Because capping every little thing in clear in large layers of clear as well, it's like doing multiple full sets. So just, you know, kind of keep that in mind. If that's how you normally operate, try it a different way and see if you like it. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't show me capping these ombres, but you guys already know I'm pretty much worried about the bottom half. So, okay, now this right here, which I didn't show in the other one, I enhanced the apexes more, because what I realized is I want to cap these just like I do the ombres, because I think for a lot of people, capping nails is hard around the cuticle, because if you don't match it up right, what's going to happen is the cuticles are going to look weird. And it's going to look like you kind of just covered the nail in something. So I went ahead, I made the apexes large enough to support the nail, and then I went ahead and just focused on capping below the apex area. And yeah, it worked out well. Now with doing this though, I did have to it was a little bit thicker than what I wanted, but I personally was like, I'll just file it later because of the convenience of having to cap way less. I just didn't feel like building an apex out of clear, and yeah, I just didn't want to do that, so I just went ahead and reinforced the apexes. And now you can see I'm getting my clear, and this one I already did the apex area, but yeah, you can see how I am capping. I don't need any in the apex, so I'm blending it up because I don't want it to be a harsh line. But you can see, because I already put some acrylic around those snowflakes, too much is not popping out. You see what I'm saying? So I'm keeping it together as one unit as all the clear is coming down. If you don't do that, it's gonna run all over the place. Make sure that you are covering your sidewall. See what I'm doing right there? You can see the difference in the clear acrylic and the background of clear acrylic. Cover your sidewalls, because if you do not do that, you're gonna have a hard time filing your clear nails and your encapsulated nails, because they are very much thinner, and even though clear is strong, it has the appearance of it's just kind of different. So your sidewalls are important, and I apologize, you guys. I'm so tired. Yeah, see how I'm like making sure the whole nail is capped, even the sides. That's definitely important. Don't skip out on the sides because you don't want anything exposed. So at this point, this is the only capping I'm gonna show on this nail. Like I said, this footage is very old. Some of it is just like whatever. But I had some filing, but it wasn't really showing you guys anything much. But browse on my page, you will see some other XXL sets, some that are showing from start to finish, some that are just purely foundational, some that are more design. But either way, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If nothing more for the company and maybe a few tips here or there, I know y'all have to be tired. I'm extremely tired. Like, I cannot keep my eyes open, but we have made it to the end of the video. I appreciate y'all sticking with me. It's been a couple of days, you guys. I got into a minor car accident the other day, so that's why I didn't upload a couple days ago. Well, someone actually hit me. I didn't hit someone. Someone hit me. But we're back on track. I know I keep saying that. I probably sound like a liar, but I promise I'm doing my best to work hard for y'all. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Appreciate y'all for watching and subscribing. Here is the final result. I'm going to bed, and I'll see you in the next one.